Welcome back to another episode on the Solent Warrior. It's 5:30 in the morning. We're out here at the crack of dawn. There's a song there somewhere, isn't there? We are going sharking today. We've brought the big gear out with us. We got the dogger rods. These are custom made rods, made especially for thresher sharks. If you are an OG follower, you would have seen this time last year, I lost a massive thresher. There's some scores to be settled today. Tides are perfect, weather is perfect. We've got a beautiful sunrise. I've got a load of frozen mackerel. On the way out, we'll try and collect some fresh mackerel, maybe in a couple of bass. But we have definitely got some scores to settle. If you did watch last year's video of me losing that massive thresher, and yes, it does still hurt, you will have remembered that we were under a little bit of pressure because I was supposed to be taking her out for the afternoon. Exactly the same thing today. Everything, all the stars are lining up today. I've got to rush this out because I've got to get back in, get shit showered and shaved, and get off to take her out on a date night. So we need to get this going. Let's do this. There is so many dolphins coming through here. Check this out. See if we can catch up with them a little bit. Huge great things. We're getting waylaid by the dolphins. Come on, we're nearly at our grounds now. Oh. Just missed one jumping. That was nice to see on the way out. I'm not sure what dolphins they are, but we've been doing a little bit of research because we saw them a little while ago, and the size they are, they could only be Rizzos, which can be, get that camera sorted, it can be completely white. Right, first things first, watch the videos, you'll know exactly what we need to do first. And that is get a block of chum straight in. So all we've got here is a nice rusty it's just a wash bag. Which way is this all going to go? Looks like, yeah. So we're going to want it. I always like to have it on the side of the boat where it's not, yeah, it's going to be going that way. I don't want it going underneath the boat. Now, got the chum in the water. The next thing is getting this set up quick while that chum's doing the trick. We're using BKK. These are Diablo 9.0s. That is on maybe a 4 foot, 400 pound wire bike trace. And then we've got a 10 foot so I think it's about 10 foot rubbing leader, just in case they spin up. This is a mono leader, just in case them threshers are being a bit spooky. What I do is I clip that straight on to my main line. As you can tell, I'm rushing because we have got limited time out here today. Nice big mackerel. These are just frozen because I didn't find any mackerel on the way out. I didn't really want to spend too much time looking for them. Big splash over there then. Big dirty mackerel bait. This is going to be my furthest float, so I'm going to set this at about 60 foot. We got about 15, 16, 20, 30, 40, 40. Right, that is 50 foot. And then I've got these floats. I've got a little diver's clip on. What I do is little clip to go on the line so I can slide up and down. And then this little diving clip pinches onto the line and sets the float at that depth. We're going to send that right out the back of the boat, maybe, I don't know, 70 yards behind the boat. Right, that is the first bait deployed. I feel like I can relax a little bit now. But I'm just going to keep giving these chum bags a good shake. Right, now that's defrosted a little bit. I've managed to, I've still got the Tupperware in the bag, but I've managed to tip the chum. Where's me? I've managed to tip the chum out because we want maximum scent this morning. I'll tell you what I have got as well, which we're going to stick straight in now. Can you remember, if you've watched my videos, you remember I done a smoked mackerel catch and cook. Now all of the, look at that. That is all of the carcasses, the little bits and bobs that I filleted off and trimmed up. And there is actually some cooked mackerel. All the frames are in there. That's going straight in. We want maximum scent today. there's the empty one coming out. And that frozen block is going straight in there. All I've done is mashed it up a little bit and added some water, crushed it up so otherwise it wouldn't freeze properly. And you need a little bit of water in there so it freezes into a solid block. That will slowly release. We've got a real good chum slick going on. Let's get the other rods out. God, it feels fishy today. Always does. We are all set. I've got 3 rods in the water. One set at 50 foot, one set at 30 foot, and one set at 20 foot. I'm drifting in 138 foot of water. But you'd think, oh, why haven't you got a float set right down near the bottom? Because I don't want to get any tope today. We are marking a fish. We are marking a shark at 60 foot right now. Yeah, we're marking a shark. That's a big fish underneath us right now. We've been here for... Well, I've just got 3 rods in. He's swimming at 60 foot. Is he going to come up? He's staying at 60 foot. What I've done is I've staggered my floats. So my furthest float, I mean, if you've watched my videos, you'll know exactly how I should go if I set all my shark gear up. Furthest float is the deepest float, because as the chum goes out from behind the boat, it sinks down in the water. So the further away the chum slick is from my boat, the deeper it is. So the furthest float I have set the deepest. Second float is the middle, is the middle depth, and then the closest float is the shallowest. What I am going to do in a minute is I've got a 4th rod down here. This is a very old pen overseas, but I tell you what, that's the regiment. They are exactly the same blank. They've just renewed them a little bit. I'm going to set this one up and it's just going to be sat in the boat ready to go, because if I get a beagle coming round the boat, I want to be able to get a bait straight on it, lower it down, try and hook him. So that'll get set up in a minute. Beagles love to come up to the boat. They'll come up and they'll bite at your floats. They're really inquisitive sharks. They'll come up and I mean, I've had a beagle around the boat for maybe 15-20 minutes and he's coming like right up, turns up, looking at me, and he'll circle around for 10-15 minutes, eventually finding a bait. But that is... Oh, I feel so fishy out here. There was another big splash over there. Could be dolphins, but it's an exciting morning. But I'm very aware that I've got limited time. I reckon I can fish to 1 o'clock the latest. That'll give me 2 hours to get in. I'll be home by 3. Showered and shaved by 4. The movie that we're going to see starts at 5. I will be alright. We are absolutely humping along at 3.6 knots. Pretty much walking speed. I've set my drift slightly inshore to where I normally fish. Purely because I need to be able to get back in a certain time. And I know what I'm like, I'll push it to the last minute. And I'll be late. So I'm still in 137, 138, 39 foot. But I'm rather out on, when I fish for freshers, I get out on quite a bit of, it's deep water, it's deep gullies. There's no real banks. It's all just scours and gullies. Where I'm fishing here, there's lots of overfalls and banks and drop-offs, and there's all sorts of stuff there. This is more of a beagle sort of ground than freshers, but I've had 2 freshers here before, so there's bait fish showing here and there. No reason why a fresher wouldn't be out on there. The water clarity isn't perfect. It's a little bit green, a little bit of algae. Right, we're going through, you'll see I'm rocking now. Going through a bit of an overfalls here. It's where you've got a bank and the water pushes up on the bank. Causes big stirs and currents. Lots of noises out here today. I think it's dolphins. Following me. Right, like I said, I've got another one set up, dripping all over the place. That bait is going into a little box down here. And that rod, it's just tucked up out the way. What I don't want is too many rods out when I'm fishing on my own. If we get a big fish on, sometimes it's quite hectic trying to get everything in. Now I'm all sort of set up. Next thing to do is make sure you've got everything you need to hand. So, T-bar is absolutely essential. That goes up there. Gloves for wiring in the fish once you've got it to the side of the boat. That's there. I've got a pair of pliers down there with a hook sharpener on. When I change the baits, I'll just give that hook a quick sharpen up. That is all we need. I do have some rusty old fucked wire cutters. If I cannot see that hook and I can't tee it out properly, there is no way I'm going to damage that shark trying to get it out. These hooks will rust out. It will take maybe a week or so, but it will rust out and the fish will survive. So if I really, really have to, I've got a set of wire cutters there. I mean, in other countries, America and New Zealand and Australia, they generally just leave the hooks in. But if I've got a good chance of getting them out, I'm using circle hooks. And I've got this drag set perfectly. So when the shark takes my mackerel, it should just turn that hook perfectly in the side of its mouth. Now there will be occasions like a small beagle will come up and it'll just chomp on that without me knowing for a minute, and it'll chomp on it until that bait is swallowed down and I can't see that hook once I get the fish to the boat. So worst case scenario that is, and we can cut the wire as close to its mouth as possible. That'll rust out or it'll pass it. Not a problem. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any tags with me today, which is a fucking shame because I know full well I'm going to end up with a big thresher when I don't have a tag with me. Bit of reverse psychology. Come on, freshers. I cannot believe I'm the only one out here sharking. I can't see another boat for miles and miles. Well, I can't see another boat. Full stop. Mental. There is an easterly breeze, which is supposed to be northeasterly. Saying that, yeah, no, it is northeasterly. It's a little bit more east than expected. It's like northeast. It's east-northeast. That is going to be swinging round at about midday and going southerly, which is not a problem. We'll get a lovely, lovely sort of glass off in between the change. And it falls directly on slack tide as well. I always find, especially the beagles, they like to feed on slack tide. Or they like to come up in the water on slack tide. I think it's probably because the mackerel are up in the water. Coming over a nice set of banks at the moment. So we just dropped down into about 160 foot and we're coming back up into about 131 foot now. There's boils and rip currents all over the place. It feels very, very fishy. Lovely chump slick. Everything is perfect. If we don't catch a shark today, I'll eat my hat. I could probably keep you guys occupied with a few tope. I don't want to stir them up. I don't want to put a bait straight down on the bottom and bring tope up. I don't want them to pest me today at all. I want them baits to be sat perfectly out there waiting for a proper shark. So you're either going to see a massive shark or nothing at all. Because once we leave here and start steaming back in, we'll be stopping. We won't be stopping, sorry. We won't be stopping at anything. No mackerel shoals, no bass shoals, anything like that. We'll just be punching straight back in. Now, we didn't pick up any fish on the way out here this morning, so it is shark or nothing for you lot today. I've got a really good feeling though. Really good feeling. Right, well I'm getting a bit bored, so I'm just sticking some baited feathers down on the bottom, just to see if we can pick up some gurnard, maybe some bream, possibly mackerel and scad, I don't know. And we're just going to see what's down there. We're fishing, we're up into 122 foot of water now. Surely not. That was stuck straight into the bottom. Got to use relatively heavy lead because I'm drifting at 3.5 knots still at the moment. currently 2 hours in. We managed to get baits in about 8 o'clock this morning, and we've just got past 10 o'clock. It's quiet out here. Chump slick's perfect, baits are all good. I've got the mackerel feathers that I was just put on the bottom. I changed up. They're like pollock feathers, so they've got like a sort of big sand eel, like a wrecking feather. I've just popped them on because we've just come into a group of wrecks. We've got the SS Barrett, we've got the SS Simla, SS Cuba, big group of wrecks. Now, it looks like we're going to go directly over the top of one. It looks like the Redmere, SS Redmere. If we get off, if we directly go over the top of it, then we may be able to pick out a bass or a pollock off it. We're in 142 foot of water at the moment, and I've not seen a single shark. I've seen some dolphins, I've heard some noises of splashing, which could have been freshers jumping, but more than likely it was probably dolphins. Wind's just starting to slow down a little bit. Do you remember I said earlier it's going to swap round? It's northeast and it's going to swap round to southwest. So we get a big lull in the middle of them two. All we can do is just carry on. We've got another 3 hours. Let's see how we get on, man. We're in the right spot. We've got a big fishing vessel coming up, and looking on Ship Finder on AIS, looked like he was perfectly on course for me. So I radioed through, picked him up, and just said, "Can you possibly swing to port?" Which will be his left, so that should be up in front of me. Which he replied, absolutely no problem at all.
Melbourne Star, this is Solent Coast Guard, over.
I'm just going to keep an eye on him. I'm making sure I've got my life jacket on, just in case anything silly happens, but he's a fishing vessel, so he knows what he's doing. It's very hard to stay still when he's this far zoomed in. You can see he's turning to port. I've got the floats out this side, so if he just comes up and around this way. Perfect. There he goes. They're the fucking sharks though. Well, I caved and I've just put a tote prod down on the bottom because we're not finding any sharks. We have just come out of slack water. We're drifting at 0.5 of a knot. This is ideal time for a poor beagle. They love to come up around the boat on slack water. We've got fresh baits. We've got a good chum going. So we're all still in with a chance of finding a shark. But I thought I'll just stick a 20-30 down. I'll put a flappered scad on. Might pick up a ray, might pick up a conger, especially where it's slack like this. But more than likely, we'll pick up a tope. Hopefully. I say hopefully. Didn't really want any today, but got to catch something. I'm not blanking. We've literally caught 0 fish today. I haven't been out on my boat and caught 0 fish for over a year. It ain't happening today. We're just knocking on 12:30 now. We've run out of time out here. Gutted. The conditions are perfect, tide's perfect. We've got a good chum, we've got a good bait. It's hard work this sharking around here. It's big fish or no fish. You know, in Cornwall you can
you can go out and you can have 3 or 4, 5, 6 blue sharks, some small, some big. Out here, around the back of the island, it's big beagle. I mean, we have had small beagles, about £100, but
they're hard to find out here at the moment.
I'll slowly start getting my gear together. See if we can find some bass on the way home.
I'm just coming up to a wreck that I want to try. Might have some pollock on it. It's in deep water. It's in St. Cat's Nicks. It's in about 250 foot. Might have pollock, might have bass, might be completely barren. But it is our last chance to try and find a fish. Fucking hell. Let's try that. We're going to be slap bang on top of the wreck literally now. Come on, get down there. There it is. Very silty. Can't imagine to be much wreck there if it's so silty like that. As soon as the lead hits the bottom, it sticks in like creek mud. We're gonna have a blank day, boys and girls. We're gonna have a blank day unless we find some bass on the way home.
Yes, he did make it. Come on, let's go.
If you like the shit video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, why not subscribe to a video where I didn't catch any fish? See you on the next one.